Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and then come into a good cross-leg position. Just spend a moment or two just observing your balance of observing the balance of your seat bones, observing the lift of your chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Just look at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Consciously still your eyes on something on the floor that doesn't move. Perhaps something different to what you would normally use. Just giving yourself a few moments with stillness stillness in the eyes. Hold onto your knees and elevate your heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets without disturbing them, bring your hands into Namaste. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets, lengthen from the armpits into the elbows, and then squeeze the elbows in towards each other. Lengthen from the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Keep your eyes still in the sockets. Maybe look with the eyes down into the chest cavity. Keep your head lifted, but just look down with the eyes. Observe that feeling of quietness that occurs when you draw the eyes down into the chest cavity. Gently draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Just bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence, and of peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an intention. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open. Again, just choose a spot on the wall ahead of you, just looking at something that doesn't move. Hold onto your knees, Elevate the heart area upwards, draw your shoulders down, keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Turn to the right, sorry. Doesn't really matter, just turn whichever way. Again, just fix your eyes on something that doesn't move. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets while you observe the sensations of the physical body. Observe the body's resistance. Observe the body's freedom. Using the out-breath to intensify the turn. Working with your resistance. Working with your freedom. Come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. Again, keeping your eyes still in the sockets. And then turn to the left. Draw yourself across. Look at something on the wall that doesn't move. Observe the physical sensation of the pose. Observe your resistance, acknowledging whether it's different or the same as the other side. Probably different. Divide your attention between the resistance and areas of freedom. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. And then come back to the center. Just hold onto your knees, just keep your eyes still in the sockets. Just looking at something that doesn't move ahead of you. Observe the breath, fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Empty them from the top to the bottom. Just continue to breathe evenly into both lungs. And evenly out of both lungs. So you're not necessarily consciously slowing down the breath, but it may be slower than usual. Just observe that. If you'll lift, sit back on your heels for Adho Mukha virasana. Again, look at something that doesn't move ahead of you. Wriggle into your heels and press the shins consciously into the floor. Press the shins into the floor so that the thighs respond, so that the thighs activate. And from there, elevate up into the heart area. And then come forwards, hinging at the hips, keeping your head lifted, keeping your eyes focused. Something that doesn't move, you might have to change that subject as you go down, but keep your eyes consciously still as you come down. And then bring the forehead down. Maintain the connection between the seat bones and the heels. Listen to your breath. Listen to your breath as you inhale and exhale.
Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Empty the lungs from the top to the bottom, just observing the stretch across the back, across the lower back as you draw your seat bones down to the heels, extended from the hips into the armpits, the elbows, the wrists, the palms, the fingers, the fingertips. Come up onto your knees, turn the toes under, have your hands as wide apart as the mat, have your feet as wide apart as the mat, and then come up into dog down. Let your head hang down. Again, just focus on something that keeps your eyes still in the socket. Observe how your body is feeling this morning in the pose. Observe if there is any difference to how you typically feel, or whether the resistance and the freedoms are the same as usual. It's unlikely that they're going to be exactly the same, but just observe it. From here, wing, keep your hands where they are, keep your feet where they are, swing the hips forwards, come up into dog up, pushing into the heels, keeping the legs away from the floor, pushing into the heels, lifting up into the abdomen, abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Again, keeping your eyes still on whatever is ahead of you. And then come back up into dog down. Just keep your eyes still and focus on your breath. Watching the pose from the inside, from the feeling of the pose. Activating for observation, observing for activation. Activating for observation, observing for activation. Step your feet forward, just come up into standing position, and then get some blocks for your hands. You might not necessarily use them, but it's useful to have them there. Bring your feet as wide apart as the mat. Know that your feet are as wide apart as the mat because you can feel the outside edge of the mat. Feel the edge of the mat on the outside edge of the heel, on the little toes. So just make sure that feeling is even. Have a quick look, make sure that the heel is in line. Doesn't matter if you overlap a little bit. Try not to overlap too much. Activate the kneecaps. Wherever it is that you're looking, just look at something that doesn't move. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Bring the elbows back and then come forwards, hinging at the hips. So at this stage, if you are protecting your back, and we all need to protect our back of course, but if your back is currently giving you some problems, then come into half uttanasana. Otherwise, keep the chest lifted, keep the head lifted, hinge at the hips, lengthening the spine away from the hips, come down, and then release your arms. Hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows. Wrap your fingers around your elbows and hang down.
But whichever version of uttanasana you are doing, it has to come from the legs. So lift the legs away from the floor, lift from the heels into the seat bones. Lift the seat bones away from the heels, hit the shins back so that your weight is planted precisely in the centre of the heel. Turn the fronts of the legs inwards to distribute your weight into the centre of the heel. You can close your eyes, but keep your eyes still in the sockets. Or if you're keeping your eyes open, just look at something that doesn't move. Just find space and extend into it. Find areas of dullness and activate them. Excavate into your pose for deeper activation. Release your hands down to the floor. Just come into half uttanasana using the blocks if you need them. If you are on a higher lift on the blocks and you've been there for a while, then maybe you go down a little. Just extend into the chest. Look forwards. Again, keep your eyes still in the sockets. Just focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. And then bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into a standing position. Just come into Tadasana. And again, immediately bring your eyes forwards. Just look at something that doesn't move, so that your eyes remain still in the sockets. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Find your balance. So observe where your weight is in your feet. Is it towards the toes? Just hit your legs forward so that your weight goes into your toes. And that becomes quite precarious balance-wise, doesn't it? It becomes harder to balance if your weight is in your toes, especially if the heels become lighter. So hit the shins back to the wall behind you, just going gently, slowly, until your weight goes into your heels. And then turn the shins inwards. Turn the inner knees towards the back of the room. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Keeping your eyes as still in the sockets as you can. Stretch your arms out in front, interlock the fingers, and then raise your arms into baddangulyasana without disturbing the legs. Keeping your weight consciously in your heels. Tucking the tailbone in, drawing the abdomen to the spine, lifting the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Just release your hands, swap the interlock of the fingers, turn the palms all the way out.
Raise your arms, observing if you've disturbed your legs, correcting the legs if you have. Observing your pose from your feet to the legs, to the hips, to the torso, to the armpits, to the arms, to the palms. Again, maintaining the stillness of the eyes in the sockets. Find your balance, pushing into the hands, lengthening down into the feet, lengthening from the feet into the hips, into the arms. And then release. Just bring your hands back into Tadasana. Observe the energy of the shoulders, of the hands, of the arms. Again, just maintaining that stillness and levelness of the eyes. Spread the toes of the left foot, lift your shorts if you can, and your left leg, and then bring the foot as high up into the thigh as you can. And then just have the hands at the sides of the body, lifting up into the chest, looking at something that doesn't move. Push the outer thigh firmly in towards the foot, push the foot into the outer thigh. Turn that standing leg in Tadasana. And then raise your arms, have the palms shoulder width apart. I have to slightly adapt that because of the ceiling, lack of ceiling height, but if you can be in virasana arms, then do. Just keep your eyes still in the sockets. Keep that standing leg really firmly in Tadasana. And then release your arms, release the foot, come back into Tadasana. So that standing leg has to do quite a lot of the work, doesn't it, of the balance. So it needs to fluctuate from kind of inside to outside, has to stay really straight. Otherwise, that's when you start to lose the balance. And so it's real focus and concentration on this standing leg, the turning in of the leg, but sometimes you have to turn it out slightly just to maintain the balance because it all connects into the foot. So just on this other side, just lift the shorts on your leg, just come back into Tadasana, stilling the eyes in the sockets. And then bring the foot up into the thigh. Don't be in a rush to raise your arms up. I always think it's better to come into the pose with the arms at the side, like you're going back into Tadasana. Suck the outer thigh of the standing leg in. Push the foot into the outer thigh. So you create that compactness. Lengthen from the bent leg hip into the bent leg knee to bring the hips level. Raise your arms, keeping your eyes still in the sockets at all times. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Observe the pose. Observe the feeling of the pose. Observe the activity of the leg. Just try and bring quietness into your pose. That doesn't necessarily mean quietening the standing leg, just observe it. Be in really firm Tadasana with that standing leg. Release the arms, release the leg. And then come back into Tadasana. Again, just observing your balance. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet apart for trikonasana. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Just feel where your weight is in your feet. Turn the left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out. Bring the hips to face the front. Turn that right leg, particularly from the big toe side to the little toe side. Do the same with the other leg so that you bring the outer edge of the foot down onto the floor. Take a deep inhalation and then come down rather than looking up. So you can look up to start off with, but look down to the floor. Look at something about a foot or so away from the right foot. Look at something that doesn't move so that the eyes remain still in the sockets. Just focus on the breath. If your sinuses are blocked, then you can look up. Otherwise, look down. Be in the pose, observing your alignment, observing the position of the hip, that right hip in comparison with the right foot. Can you bring the hip in line with the heel? Can you hit the back leg towards the wall behind you? Come back to the centre. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in. And the left leg and foot all the way out. Feel that your feet are in the right place, that this heel of the front leg lines up with the instep of the back leg. So a quick look, make sure that it is, and if it's not, then adjust it. You don't want your heels in line with each other. Turn the legs from the inside out, and then come over, reaching down to the floor. Again, look up initially, and then you can look down, look at something that doesn't move, or look up, keeping your eyes focused on something that doesn't move. That isn't necessarily your hand. Just feel the pose from the inside. Feel your alignment. Try and keep your eyes still in the sockets, whether you're looking up or down. And then come back to the centre, bring the feet parallel. And then step or jump the feet back together. Back into Tadasana. Just spend a little time observing your energy, observing your breath, observing how your body has responded to those poses. And then you're going to come into half uttanasana if you're not doing full uttanasana. So you can just come forward, stretch and forwards onto a lift, activating the legs, or we're going to go into half uttanasana. So you can go into half uttanasana with your arms
raised up, hooking the thumbs into the crease of the elbows, wrapping your fingers into the elbows. But if you found that you came down better and you were lower this way, coming forwards that way, then do it that way. So you'll notice a distinct difference. So maybe come into the other way first, keeping the head lifted, keeping the spine elongated, and then hang down into uttanasana or half uttanasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, letting the breath be equal and normal. So did you notice a difference in how you come down if you came down with the arms over your head? Do you notice a difference in the freedom of the spine? Keep the legs activated, keep your eyes still in the sockets. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then release your hands down to the floor. Just briefly come into half uttanasana. Just bring your hands onto your shins if you can't reach the floor. Or use blocks under your hands. And then walk your hands towards the end of the mat. Have the hands shoulder width apart. Step the feet so that they're hip width apart. And then come back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Observe how it feels different now to how it felt at the beginning. Let your head hang down. Keeping your eyes focused on something that doesn't move. Observe the breath. Observe the inhalation and the exhalation. Okay, come down onto your knees. Just sit back on your heels for a moment, just observing your energy. Observing how the physical body feels. Observing how your energy feels. Observing the quietness of the mind or otherwise. Just look forwards, look at something that doesn't move. Preferably at eye height or lower. Lift up into the chest and then come forwards into Adho Mukha virasana. Even though your eyes probably can't see clearly because they're so close to the floor, just look into the distance with stillness in the eyes, or close your eyes, but it's better to keep them open if you can.
And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up
into a seated position. And again, just lift up into the chest. Observing your energy, observing how your energy has changed from the feeling of the body at the beginning of the sequence. And then come into cross legs. So just come into cross legs, just sitting directly on the floor, or if you find that you drop in the chest when you sit directly on the floor, then sit on a lift. So you can do half padmasana or cross legs, just normal cross legs, or you could even do full padmasana if you really want to, but half padmasana is fine. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards and drawing the shoulders down. Again, look at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Consciously soften the jaw and the tongue and the throat. Roll onto the front edge of the seat bone. So whatever cross legs position you are in, make sure it's comfortable. If you're struggling to stay in half padmasana, then don't struggle, just go back to normal cross legs. Or whichever you are working in, if just normal cross legs is swastikasana, if that is giving you some problems, then sit higher. Sit on a lift. Just observe how you can bring even balance to the seat bones. But just observe the seat bones from the feeling of the seat bones on the floor. Listen to the breath. Just focus on the feeling of the pose. And then gently turn to the right side. Observe how perhaps your balance shifts at the seat bones. Remember to keep your eyes still in the sockets. If you find that your balance has changed on the seat bones, if it's rolled over to the right seat bone, and just adjust the position of the torso between the two hips. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. And then turn to the left. Again, maintaining the stillness of the eyes in the sockets. Maintaining the evenness of the seat bones. Just observing the feeling of the pose from the inside. Just discover sensation as you stay. And then come back to the center. Okay, come down onto your back into supta, baddangulyasana. Just come
come down onto your back, have the feet together, have the knees apart. And then guide yourself down onto the floor, have the feet together. Let the knees come down towards the floor. If there's stiffness in your hips, then put blocks on the outsides of the thighs to support them. Again, just keeping your eyes still in the sockets and drawing your attention into the physical body. Do you feel balanced? Do you feel balanced on the inside? Raise your arms up, interlock the fingers into the crease, into the webbing of the hands. Turn the palms all the way out. Squeeze the outer elbows in and stretch your arms away. Raise your arms, interlock the fingers the other way, turn the palms all the way out, and then extend your arms along the floor. Release your arms, bring your hands onto your lower ribs. Just rest down into the floor. Just observing the feeling of the hips in supta baddangulyasana. Do the hips feel even? Just work to ensure that they do. And then draw your knees together, have your knees together and your feet apart. Just rest in your hips. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your right side to stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position, and then get a blanket for your head. Just lay yourself down in a really good
Straight line right down the centre of the mat. Just rest your hands on the floor either side of the body. Just giving yourself space in the armpit, chest. And then allow yourself to completely release into the floor, surrender into the straight line of the floor. Close your eyes if you haven't done. Just feel the body in contact with the ground. And consciously unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. As you allow the body to become heavy on the floor, observe that feeling of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones and into the muscles. To the bones and the muscles and the organs. Bones, the muscles, the organs, and the flesh and the skin. Ready, just gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then draw your knees in towards your chest, have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just bringing your attention back into the body. And then roll onto your right side, just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just cross legs with your hands in the masti, your final spinal lift. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Empty the lungs from the top to the bottom. Conscious of the energy that you released through your practice this morning. A good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists bring to the body and to the mind. Draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to seek to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then sending some of that positive energy out into the world.
And then gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb, a gesture of wisdom and peacefulness and bodily intelligence to the body and the mind. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you have just lifted your energy but brought some tranquility to the mind you can carry with you into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.